Hello there, Bick Benedict here. We're playing The Last of Us Remastered on Grounded difficulty, and this is my no damage guide. We are currently on Chapter 6. So the first thing you saw me do there is switch from my shotgun to my rifle. The only reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to be using its scope on one of the stealth sections, just to be able to see far away and to see what's going on with my arrows. Now, it's kind of incredible that this entire area over here, the only thing that you can pick up that has any relationship to gameplay, any bearing on the gameplay, I should say, is it's this item over here. It's like half of a compress. So you can feel free to search the beach and all of the alcoves and everything. I'm telling you, that is all I've ever been able to find over here. There are some collectibles, but everything that I pick up, I just wanted to have some impact on the gameplay. You know, I'm not in this for the collectibles, but this is a fantastic chapter. It's got some very tricky fights, though, that I'm going to be able to get you through much better than I got you guys through it on my previous grounded difficulty walkthrough. I'm looking back at my previous walkthrough. I'm quite unhappy with how things turned out because I left a lot out of it, and much of what exists in that previous grounded walkthrough. Some of it's pretty good, I admit it, but some of it's just half-ass. So I'm not going to be taking any half measures on this walkthrough. In fact, this is my second time going through this chapter because I wanted to see if I could do a little bit better, and I did. So over in this area, there's a quarter of a piece of scissors and then some machine parts over here. We won't be coming across any workbenches until we leave the sewers. So this chapter is going to be the sewers and the suburbs. It's going to take us all the way to Tommy's Dam, which will be the next chapter. So take the right path over here to come to this optional area, and now hopefully you have a brick in your inventory, because there's one part that I regretted not having a brick before, and I would recommend having that. There's going to be a couple stealth sections on this video that are just pure stealth. There's one part that's a fight no matter how you break it down, and then we've got the notorious sniper section once we get into the suburbs after we've done some looting. So when you come over here, there are some pills, there are some machine parts, and then there's a letter. So now leave this area and then come over here and rejoin Henry and Sam, and then we're going to be coming across a couple clickers over here, right over here. I had a blast on this chapter. This is it really isn't too difficult of a chapter, and it's kind of strange too that I don't even think I got toolbox number 3 on my previous walkthrough. I'm really ashamed of it. I just didn't commit enough to it, and I just left so much out. So I apologize about that, and I'm proud to represent this game much better than I did before. So anyway, Henry's going to lift this up for us, and then we're going to go to the other side over here, and feel free to run as fast as you want over here, which admittedly is not fast, since the run in this game is really slow when you're not in combat. So over in that alcove, looks like some tape, and now we're going to be climbing this ladder, and as long as you don't open the door over here, you can push the pallet off of the ledge over here without the clickers hearing. So now it's up to you. If you want to go get these machine parts, there's some over here, and I really like aiming in like this and traveling. It's a first person mode, surprisingly, but anyway, in this room there's not much. There's going to be an energy bar, which we obviously don't need because we're at full HP, but I am going to at least approach it and be able to show you guys that I am at full HP, because of course the HUD was removed for some reason that eludes me. But when you come in here, just move very carefully, pick up your 25 machine pieces. Oh, it's not an energy bar, it's some kind of a dog shit in a can for you if you like to eat that sort of thing. And what I like to do is just run out of the room and kind of push my luck over here, knowing that these guys can't get me because I'm going to be in the water now. So, ha to that. Okay, so now bring the pallet over here, and we're going to use this to allow Ellie to cross and rev up the generator. See if it's got any juice left for it. And when I first went through this level, I always like to try to one up myself, and I do it not because I want to try to show off, and strut my stuff. It's only because I like seeing improvements in my gameplay. I like seeing that I'm doing better, and in doing better, I'm promoting that with the intention of you guys trying to do as best as you can, because Grounded really demands that you try to make sacrifices wherever you can, and try to be as smart as you can, and make the most intelligent choices that you can. So where exactly are we? Are we at the part where we have a fight? We've got a mandatory fight coming up. Okay, this must be the area where we pick up the new handgun. It's called a shorty. It's an old-fashioned revolver type weapon, for which we get two rounds for it. So over here we've got a very good pickup over there. A bomb's upgraded, so the explosion radius now for the nail bombs and for the smoke bombs is now 1.5 times as wide, which is really cool. So now when you come over here, if you've got a brick in your possession, I'm telling you, don't use it. Try not to use it, because the thing about this is that there's not going to be a brick in the next section, and I want to use the brick on a clicker. Now you see that pickup there? 3 rounds for my 9mm. I had to farm that because I had to use so much ammunition on the Philadelphia or the Pittsburgh chapter that when I saw that bastard was dropping some pretty good ammunition, I wanted to make sure that I got my 3 rounds for the 9mm, so I kept restarting it, and you can too. And it just depends whatever you want. Sometimes that first guy will drop just 1 round of 9mm ammo. Sometimes he'll drop 2 rounds of the shorty ammunition, and sometimes he drops the three rounds for the 9mm. So those are the only 3 drops that I ever saw him drop, and of course he can drop nothing. But I do like to farm items off that guy. So since I'm really low on the 9mm, I wanted to make sure that I was able to get a pretty good drop for myself. And are you impressed? Because I did some good farming. Okay, so now in this room over here, we should be coming across some spare parts. The first time I went through this chapter, though, I used the brick on one of those runners. either to smash their heads in or to disentangle one of my teammates from their clutches. Is there anything else in here? Cornered note. Okay, this is the fun part. This is really fun over here because you get separated from Ellie over here, and now it's going to be you and Sam. So once you get into this area, there are pickups immediate to your immediate right, but I'm going to save all the looting for after. And you've got to be extremely quiet on this part, guys, because there's going to be two different types of enemies, but there's going to be a subset of different types of stalkers. There's going to be, let's see, 1, 2, 3 moving stalkers, 2 stationary stalkers, and then 2 stationary clickers. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our bow to take out the enemies as stealthily as we possibly can. And when I mean you have to be quiet, I mean it. From the moment you enter this area, you cannot make any fast movements. You can't even mantle up anything. And I'll show you where there's a part that you can mantle up. So over here, what I do is I take out this one first. She's the first stalker that's moving. And then I swap my shoulders and I take care of this stalker over here. To my knowledge, you cannot stealth kill the moving stalkers, but I don't even think I showed this last time. You can silently take down the stationary stalkers, and the cool thing about this is that you can keep doing this until you're satisfied with how many arrows you're getting back and that are not breaking. So be extremely quiet as you come up to these guys. It does not matter that your flashlight's on. As you can see right there, I came right up to her with my flashlight on, and the only thing that matters is that you don't move quickly. So I'm going to be going in this cool little first-person mode over here, which is ironic, isn't it? Since you know that I have a firm detestation of first-person. And looky there, another arrow that didn't break. So if I didn't get at least one of those 2 arrows that I shot back, I would reset every time. Over there to the left, there's an area where you can mantle up. Mantling up makes noise, so be careful about that. Okay. All right. Now here is the second of the 2 stationary stalkers, and if you're having a hard time stealth killing these guys, this is probably what's happening, guys. You're probably moving too quickly at the end when you move up to them. I have a habit of doing that, and I think that other people have it too. When you here's the last stalker, by the way. I think our arrow's gonna break, and it might not have, but when you're slowly approaching the stalkers, at the very end, there's a temptation to kind of like move forward quickly and then spam triangle. That's probably what's happening. But anyway, now we just have 2 stationary clickers to deal with. So just try to get a headshot on the clicker. And we did really good here for arrows not breaking over here. It's fantastic. Like, if you can finish this room and have 4 arrows, 3 or 4 arrows, you're in really good shape. And now we just have 1 more stationary clicker to deal with. He's right at the end. And unfortunately, you might say, well, how do you have fun on a part like this where you've got to, crawl around the room? I really don't know. It's just a really tense section that I was just having fun with it. This is just there's so much game to this game. I just really love it. But anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna brick this clicker just like we did on chapter 2. So just approach him, and just mash square. And then once you take care of him, then you get a checkpoint, and then you can go about your looting. So there's 10 machine parts there. There's some more over here. Now these items that I'm going to get now are the items that I mentioned were to the extreme right when you first start. So there's a quarter of alcohol here, probably about 8 spare parts over there. And then if you look to the left over here where I'm going to go now, if you mantle up like this during that fight, or the confrontation, or whatever you want to call it, you will get heard, so that makes noise. Now, in this room over here, there's nothing except this, which is fantastic. This is toolbox level 3. I don't even think I got this last time, so it was really sloppy of me to miss that. Now, I could have, but I don't remember. But it looks like there's some sugar in there, and then there should be some alcohol over here, quarter of alcohol, and now we're done. But damn, that's a fun area. It's just really fun. How hard is it? It's kind of ironic because I always have a hard time hitting enemies from close range with the arrows, as opposed to, like, it's funny how I could be right next to a clicker and miss, or like I could be right next to a stalker and miss with the arrows, but if I'm far away, I seem to hit them more. I don't know what it is about it. Now there's a very tense part coming up at the end, and you may not know this, but crafting the Molotovs is a very inexpensive item resource action. It does not take much to craft Molotovs. Now, hopefully you've got one Molotov, at least one, because my strategy, I believe it's going to require 2 Molotovs. So even if you only have one, it's going to be okay, because the game does give you one for free. So that's cool. Is it not? Is it not cool in the gang? Okay, so you want to pick this crowbar up and then just sprint right over here. My strategy also requires a smoke bomb too. Now, I haven't really talked about the smoke bombs too, and I erroneously called the smoke bomb a sugar bomb on the Pittsburgh chapter. I do apologize about that. The reason I called it a sugar bomb was because it requires sugar to make, and I just got, confused all of a sudden. Anyway, so this is the checkpoint over here, and it's a really nice checkpoint. I'm going to switch to my Molotovs over here, and I'm going to throw the first one at the spawn point for these enemies, which is up here on this upper platform. And to stave these guys off enough, I did find that I had to throw 2 Molotov cocktails. So throw 2 Molotov cocktails, and then what you want to do is switch to the smoke bomb and throw it about right there. Throw it a little bit further up, though, if you can. Grab the Molotov, and we've got pretty good crafting speed. We're going to be getting even more better crafting speed pretty soon. But the beautiful thing about the smoke bomb is that it buys you a whole hell of a lot of time, because the enemies will go into the smoke and not know, in which direction they should be moving. And it buys you just enough time so that by the time that the smoke bomb wears off, you can be going through the door. Notice we're in a little bit of trouble because they were coming for us, but you can improve that and have even less risk if you throw the smoke bomb outside of the room. Remember when I said throw the smoke bomb a little further up? Try to throw it a little further up, because when I went through this chapter the first time, I threw it further up, and like nobody came into the room, and I had all the time up until the door opened. I had just, it didn't come down to the wire as much as it did in on that captured piece of footage. But I'm telling you guys, it buys you just enough time, if not more time. So it's all good. It's really great. Some great shit. Okay, guys, so don't forget about those machine parts in the back of the van over there. And now we're going to be doing some suburban looting. And I didn't I didn't put this in my guide the last time, so again, shame on me. Really, shame on me. Okay, so let's head on up here and start picking some stuff up. But the travel speed for do you see the travel speed, guys? This is the travel speed. Is it fast enough? No, it's unacceptable. The travel speed in this game, like his little jog he does, it's ridiculously slow, and I abhor it. And if you don't hold the L1 button or whatever button you have, I have R1 assigned to sprint. You walk like Batman does in the Arkham games, where you walk so slow, in that pseudo intimidating way. But anyway, when you come down here, you're gonna get another checkpoint, and I'm gonna be doing some upgrading for myself. And so let's not be too conservative here with our upgrades. Let's actually, we really need to get the fire rate for the revolver up. It's really slow. As you can see, I haven't even touched the upgrades for this thing, so it just shoots really slowly. So you also can't increase the clip capacity for the revolver, obviously. But I'm definitely going to focus on clip capacity, reload speed, probably range too for the shotgun, and reload speed for the bow. Okay, so once we're through, we're going to loot the remaining 2 houses over here. The first house will have it doesn't have as much good stuff as the other house to the right does, but it has an important upgrade for us that we're not going to want to miss. The upgrade itself is to increase the durability of the fatal blows that melee weapons can have if you've upgraded them. Now, this upgrade, personally for me, I don't ever recall at any point ever fashioning a melee weapon to have scissors on it on any campaign I've ever done. So if that's something that you use, then cool, I'm glad for it. So I don't craft them. Now finding them, if we do come across some more, that's great too, because then we'll have some more durability for our weapon. Now this house over here, it has some important items. Now there's going to be some vitamins in here that we're going to use to finalize our crafting speed, so that now we can craft at the fastest possible speed. And then you're going to be coming up these stairs over here, and then we're going to be grabbing a safe code that's written on a matchbook up here. And it's also important to not forget this arrow over here to the left. Arrows can be hard to come by in this game, so at this point we've got 5, so we're in pretty good shape. Anyway, here's the safe that has the contents of the over here, 50 parts and 10 more vitamins. From here on out, we're not going to be needing any vitamins. I'll still pick them up. In fact, I do know that I missed some supplements over in this area somewhere. But can you run a little faster? I mean, what is this shit with his little jog? It's way too slow. Speed his shit up, man. What's wrong with you? Don't forget to pick up a brick, though, before you go into the next area, though, guys. There's 2 bricks over there. So if you want to use one of the bricks to knock out the firefly pendant that's in the tree, you can do that and then pick up the other brick. Okay, so the final thing we need to do is just pick up these parts over here. And then if you want to, you can go back and do some more upgrades if you like, before you come down here and get yourself in a checkpoint. And then we're going to be taking on this section over here, which is it's fairly fun. I mean, it can be a little awkward, and I don't like the fact that it requires just spontaneous things that can happen with the way enemies behave over here. But at least you now have a checkpoint, and then we'll do this section over here. So here's the checkpoint, and I'm gonna just stay behind the trash cans, wait till he fires, and then just sprint up here, head over here to the left, and do my little pansy jump. I'm going to equip my brick because there's going to be an enemy running down the stairs, and to get the upper hand on these guys without them hitting you, you need to throw a brick. So to spawn these enemies is right about there where the door was. Then I'm going to come up here, switch to my Molotovs, and I'm going to try to cluster kill some enemies if I possibly can. So if you can try to cluster kill enemies, there's going to be 4 enemies in addition to the guy that came down the stairs. Also, that guy ran through the fire right over there, and he wasn't touched. There's also a Molotov guy here who will always drop a Molotov regardless of how many you have in your inventory and regardless of how many he has thrown. So even if he throws the one that he's holding, he'll still drop one, which is really cool. So I need to kill the Molotov guy to replenish my my store of Molotovs. And this was only luck that the other guy didn't shoot me. So you always do lab takedowns on these guys for some reason too. See, that's just plain old luck. But I really applaud the way that enemies can often be as inaccurate as they are accurate in this game, which always gives you a good fighting chance. Now this is the hard part. There's a house to the extreme right that has it has like an explosive part, and it has some like 25 machine parts, but the floor is broken, and I don't mean that it's broken literally. It's broken in the fact that enemies go through the floor, so you can't even hit them. Like the enemies, they go clear through the fucking geometry, so I avoid trying to loot that house. But anyway, all you've got to do is just come into the room. The sniper is going to attack you from the right, and just mash square and stab him, and then you're going to get yourself in a checkpoint. So when I came into the house, though, you saw how lucky I was. So what do? You just need some luck, and unfortunately, that's the best I can do for you guys. Now, when you jump on the sniper rifle, it's going to tell you that you can zoom in with the X button. So if you do need to zoom in, press X. And at first, you're just going to have enemies coming from the middle of the street and over to the right a bit. And you can have a fail state if enemies attack your teammates too much. But I'm telling you guys, this part it's a pleasure to play. It could have been very frustrating. Just like the Jeep section had the potential. Remember the Jeep section in Chapter 4 at the end, where I said it was a very fair and fun part that could have been extremely frustrating for the player? Well, this could have been the same way. It could have been horrendous. It could have been like that gun section where in Gears of War 2 you're trying to destroy that Reaver. It could have been just like that, but this is nothing less than a pleasure to play. It's fair, it's fun, and it's a little challenging without being hard, and it's fun. Just fun. Bottom line. Naughty Dog does a great job. They're one of the most respected game developers out there. Yes, they do have their faux pas here and there, but and of course, they do stupid things like everybody else, and it can't be helped sometimes. Like removing the HUD, I just think that was the wrong way to go on that. But remember this tank that was haunting us in Pittsburgh? Well, here it is, winding its horn. Now, before you can dispatch the enemy in there who's going to be starting to throw Molotovs, there's going to be a consort here of enemies that will be attacking your team. So I'm telling you guys, I did this a number of times, and I only had a fail state once when I was being extremely passive, and I just wasn't participating in it too actively. So look at the hood. Look at the hood ornament that the tank has. It's got a dead body on it. That's how they decorate their tank. It's done on purpose, I presume. But you know, just quickly kill all of the ground-based enemies, and then you're gonna notice that the hatch on top opens, and the dude that's controlling the tank is going to be I don't know if he's actually controlling it, but he's going to start throwing Molotovs, and even if you don't hit him the first time he shows his face, it doesn't matter. You can miss him. He could duck down. I've missed him like twice before. He ducks down. He grabs another Molotov, and then you've just got to try to shoot him again. So it's not like you need to kill him on the first try. So good job, Naughty Dog. I really like this game. It's so good. It's just like I said. There's so much game to it. I just really like it. But anyway, now you're gonna be attacked by clickers and runners. So anytime you see your teammates in jeopardy, just shoot the enemy that's attacking them, and you should be all good. And then at this point, the whole town is going to be overrun with clickers, and it's going to seem like you might potentially fail, but I don't even think you can fail. There's going to be a point at which Joel decides that it's time to run, and he's going to get off the scope, and then we're going to be heading on over to Tommy's dam. Did you guys know that Tommy had a dam? He's got a dam, and we're going to go over there and check it out and see how Tommy's doing, because we haven't seen him in quite a while. I think he's got a wife for himself, and we're going to get ourselves a change of clothes, and we're going to be heading on over to the aforementioned dam owned by Tommy. Take care.